Hello everyone and welcome back to RIZE Racing League. We're with our Division 2 drivers here in the Algarve British circuit in Portugal. While our drivers are in the pits, let's have a bit of a reminder of where we are in the standings. In Division 2, Kaz 420 is still in the league in the Drivers' Championship. He is leading by, he's got 164 points. R8 Storms, McLaren driver, in second with 141 points. At the moment, the way that it stands, Kaz 420 will be joining during quali. So I'm not sure whether he'll get an opportunity to set a lap or not. And what that will do is make it really challenging for him in terms of track position. And R8 Storm should absolutely be looking to capitalise on that. From the constructors' standpoint, McLaren are leading with 304 points. Red Bull in second place with 264 points, so McLaren are absolutely dominating as it stands at the moment. We are just about halfway through the season at the moment, so there is still plenty of time for things to change. But as it stands, McLaren in a very good position at the moment. In third place is Williams with 262 points, so just a 2-point difference between Williams and Red Bull, so there is definitely a lot to play for in that space. So the Williams drivers are absolutely going to want to bring the fight to Red Bull. Got a number of drivers who are on out laps at the moment. First driver out is the Haas driver of Acer. First out on track. He's going to be the first driver to set a flying lap. So far so good for the Haas of Acer, making his way around Sector 2. As you can see, there's plenty of turns to keep our drivers busy in this circuit. Really challenging circuit to get right. So far, Acer seems to be handling it really nice. You can just see how much power and how much speed he's carrying around that corner. Back onto the pit straight, DRS, and it's a 119.4 on the board. We do have Luxty in the Alfa Romeo, and it also looks like Thunderbuddy is getting a bit of a tow down the straight there. Luxty sets the best time so far, a 118.8 in Thunderbuddy just behind Acer with a 119.8. Driver SA is a 120.3, and iZombie sets a time with a 119.2. We have quite a number of drivers who are setting times here. Mecha84 also on a flying lap at the moment. His teammate Hans sets a 119.4 at the moment. That is fourth place for the Williams driver. Let's see what Mecha can do. It does look like we've got a retirement. It looks like the Haas of SYM is in the barrier there in Sector 3 or Sector 2. Sector 3. That's our first retirement of quali. Really unfortunate for the Haas driver, but no doubt this circuit is absolutely going to catch some of our drivers out as the Williams makes his way over the hill along the pit straight and posts a 120.8. Dirty Chewbacca posted a 135.3, massively off the pace there, so he'll need to go again if he wants to remain competitive among the other drivers. and potentially get that Red Bull into Q2. At the moment he has got an invalidated lap, so he'll need to go again if he wants to progress through to Q2 there. On board with Tom Tarka, who also has an invalidated lap. Looks like he is going straight again. He's looking to try and set a lap time here. He's going quite slow. Looks like he's abandoned that chance, but plenty of time left on the clock for these drivers to get sometimes on the board. DXT Viper on a flying lap at the moment through Sector 3. Look at the speed that car is carrying there. Back on the pit straight, Scott DRS, and it's a 119.8, just above his teammate out of the best of mess. So Mercedes at the moment in 6th and 7th. Do have a couple of other drivers who are yet to post times. Slowest Kingers, Ross Wheels are both Division 1 drivers who are reserving tonight for Division 2. So as part of the rules that we have in our league, they will be required to set slow lap times during quali to give priority to our Division 2 drivers. Looks like Tom Tarka is having another go here. And he's heading into the pits. Still not set a lap time, but there is 11 minutes on the clock. Plenty of opportunity for the Alpine driver to get a time on the board. MG Smithy crosses the line with a 122.2. At the moment it is the slowest time on the board. Is he going straight into another flying lap? It does potentially look like it. Heading towards the DRS zone. Track limits caught him out there, and that lap is invalidated. He'll need to go again if he wants to get through to Q2. So we have both McLaren drivers now out on their out laps. R8 Storms and AMG Speeds both on out laps at the moment. We did talk about the fact McLaren is in the top spot in terms of the constructor standings. They've got quite a nice lead at the moment, but we do still have quite a handful of races left, so there's no opportunity for these guys to get complacent. They're absolutely going to have to keep the work up and going and really putting in solid performances. So really we would expect no different from them here in Portimao. AMG Speeds overtakes the Mercedes of DXT Viper. Just heading round this long right-hander down the hill, over the hill. He's got DRS and he's starting his first flying lap of the session. Let's see what he can come up with in the turn 1. It's always a place that track limits can catch you out, but it hasn't caught him out yet. Alpine moves out of the way there quite nicely to allow the McLaren pass. R8 Storms also on a flyer as well. He overtakes the Alpine and continues on his way. MG Speeds over the hill, and he is making his way towards Sector 3. And he set a purple sector 2. What an amazing effort from AMG Speeds. Oh, 1:18.1. It is neck and neck between AMG Speeds and Thunderbuddy, who set a very nice lap time himself. A 1:18.1 for both drivers. R8 Storms comes in with a 1:18.3. So again, really not a lot between the two McLarens, but it's great to see both of them up at the top of the leaderboard there. McLaren of R8 Storms gets out of the way for I the Best Don't Mess, who at the moment will still progress through to Q2, but it does look like they're having another go to see if they can find any more time. At the minute they can't. They are 0.8 seconds up on their best time. They do shave a bit of time there as they come into sector 2, but really it's not enough to see them progress any further up the leaderboard. There is time to be found in sector 2 and sector 3, so let's see what I the Best Don't Mess can do. Looks like he will have a bit of traffic. There is a McLaren ahead of him. R8 Storms moves out of the way very nicely there to your lie. I the Best Don't Mess pass. Into sector 3 we go with the Mercedes of I the Best Don't Mess. Up the hill, down the pit straight, DRS. He does improve his time. He shaves 1.4 seconds off, and up to 6th place he goes. I dare say that's him secured into Q2 now. AMG Smithy in 15th place at the moment, at risk potentially. Although hopefully we still will see him through to Q2 with the retirements of Slowest Kingers, Ross Wales, and Division 2 driver SYM in the Haas. AMG Smithy is making his way through sector 3 at the moment, getting ready to start another flying lap in the Aston Martin. Let's see what he can do. Can he make up any time? He's got DRS. Down the hill into turn 1. It's invalidated again. There's still more time for him to have another go. 5 minutes left on the clock now, but he will have to go again if he wants to get this one. Looks like Tom Tarka has spun out. Thankfully there's no other drivers around as he makes his way back onto the circuit. Looks like he was on a flying lap there, maybe just pushing a bit too hard. I'm sure those tires are absolutely lit now. Not giving him the grip that he needs. Question is he going to go into the pits, or is he going straight for another attempt? Looks like he's going straight for another attempt. Let's see what he can do. Thunderbody moves out of the way. Shoots massively wide there. Has to brake quite a bit more than he would like to keep the car under control. He's got DRS going down the straight. It does look like he's actually backed off the lap there. Backed off the power to allow the Ferrari past. So I'm not sure if he's going to have another go, but I don't think this attempt's going to be good enough to improve. And you can see he's just slowed right down there. Mackie is on a flying lap. Have saved a bit of time on the previous sector one time. Ah, and it's invalidated again. Talked about this. Track limits are an absolute killer in this track, and obviously the challenge as well is that this is a new track that's been added into the 2021 game. So a lot of our drivers don't have, you know, a lot of experience on this track in comparison to some of the other tracks. So it is quite easy to get caught out in this track under normal circumstances. But whenever you don't have the same amount of experience on it, it just makes it a lot more difficult. So MG Smithy actually shaves over a second off his time. Does look like he's going again. Misses the apex there a little bit, but keeping the car on track. And he's up 0.3 seconds on his previous time so far. Can he save any time coming through sector 2 and 3? Makes his way into sector 3. Let's see what he can do here. He hasn't improved. At the moment still remains in 15th place. But at the moment that will be good enough to see him through to Q2. As Hunter joins, he does not have enough time at this stage, less than a minute as he joins the game, and he will not have an opportunity to set a flying lap attempt. That means that we will lose him. He does try to come out of the pits, but he is not going to make it. Unfortunately, just 30 seconds left on the clock. I like his attitude, I like his drive, but it is not possible. And that's it. We do still have a number of drivers out on track at the moment. Mecha84 is still out on track at the moment, invalidated lap and up on his previous lap time, so will not improve. AMG Smithy does look to have improved his time. Shaves 1.2 seconds off, bumps himself up into 14th place. Nice attempt from AMG Smithy. Tom Tarka heads into the pits, finishing P12. We'll see himself go through to Q2. Haas driver of Acer. Oh, having a bit of a spin there onto the gravel trap. Was improving, and unfortunately had that spin, but his time at the minute is good enough to see him through to Q2 as he hits into the bollard and hits into another bollard. And another one. Driver SA heads into the pits, debut race for RIZE Racing League, and at the moment progressing through to Q2, which is very promising. Along with Thunderbirdy, who is also having his first race with RIZE Racing League and has set the fastest lap time of the first qualifying session. Really promising for both of those drivers. And that's it for our Q1 coverage. We'll be back very shortly with Q2. We are back with our qualifying coverage here in Portugal. We have our drivers who are making their way out of the pits. Again, Acerp is the first driver out on track. You can see that the weather conditions have changed slightly. It was quite sunny in Q1. It does look to be a bit overcast at the minute, but no sign of rain just yet. But we do have a number of drivers going out on track, potentially to watch out for the risk of rain maybe later on in the session. So in Q2, we know that strategy comes into play quite a bit here. This is all about the tyre choices. The tyre that you set the fastest lap time on in this session will be the tyre that you start the race on. So you can see there is quite a bit of a mix here in terms of the choices of our drivers. We have a number of drivers who have opted for the medium tyres, and just as Tom Tarka gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Dirty Chewbacca. Not sure what has happened there. That's really unfortunate, but it does mean that wherever Tom Tarka qualifies, he will start the race 5 laps or 5 places behind that. And just as Acerp starts his flying lap, you can see there is a couple of drops of rain on the track here, which is going to make this for a really, really interesting qualifying session. As you can see, this is obviously why our drivers are coming out quickly to try and set a lap time before the track gets seriously wet and before that crossover period happens where the slick tyres really aren't the best tyre to be on, and actually we need to be getting on to the likes of the intermediate tyre. So absolutely makes sense that all of the drivers are out of the pits and trying to set a lap time here as quickly as possible, because the longer they wait, the more of a disadvantage they're going to be in terms of trying to set the fastest time possible. And this is quite a tough track to get to grips with in normal circumstances. There's a lot of twists and turns. You've got hills going up, hills going down. It really puts a lot of pressure on the car, and then add in the additional factor of rain in that as well, or a greasy track. It really just makes for quite challenging conditions for our drivers. So it'll be really interesting to see how our drivers fare with these conditions, along with what is quite a challenging track as well. As Acerp crosses the line with a 120.1, we do have iZombie, who comes in with a 119.3. I The Best Don't Mess, a 119.4. Both of those drivers opted for the soft tyres. We have DXT Viper, who's came in the medium tyres, of 124.2. Quite a bit off the pace there. Dirty Chewbacca comes in with the fastest lap time off the session so far, 119.1. And then we do have Hans, a 120.5. AMG Smithy comes in with a 123.4. Luxty heading into the pits after an invalidated lap time there. Really unfortunate. Mackie 84 coming round the final corner on the medium tyres. And it's a 122.3 for the Williams driver. Thunderbody on the soft tyres, a 120.1. Very nice time indeed from the Ferrari driver. DXT Viper having another go. He has shaved over 1 second off his previous time. He's got a final corner to get round here. And he does improve. Gets him up 1 place, a 122.6. AMG Speeds comes in with a 120.9, and R8 Storms R8 Storms comes in with a 120.9. AMG Speeds with a 121.2. McLaren 7th and 8th at the moment. Both drivers opting for the medium tyres. We do have driver SA and Tom Tarka, who are both in the pits currently. I'm not sure why they haven't kept out and deciding to get a lap in before the conditions worsen, because it looks like they will miss their opportunity to do so before we start to see a bit of standing water on the track, and really start to see the need to switch over to those intermediates. Luxty is on his outlap. He's back on those medium tyres again. You can see we do have bits of rain that are starting to form on the grid. You can also see that those who have opted for the soft tyre as a preferred choice are very much at the top of the leaderboard there, whereas those who are on the medium tyre, which is the slower race tyre, are obviously down a bit nearer to the bottom and at risk potentially of going out. As Luxy starts his next flying lap, you can see the water on the track is growing quite substantially there. This is making the conditions a lot harder for Luxy, as he's still on the medium tyres. Into sector 2, the Alfa Romeo goes down the hill, back up the hill, back down the hill, back up the hill. Oh, he just loses it. Just back on the par, just a bit too quickly there. And this is a really, really challenging session for Luxty, because really we've got drivers, you can see there, who have started to stick on the intermediate tyres. The intermediate tyres are just not going to be as fast as what a slick tyre would be in the dry setting. So really, I think that Luxty has maybe missed an opportunity to get a good time on the board here that's competitive with the other drivers on the track. But there is still time. He could stick the intermediates on and he could set a time as Tom Tarka spins out there and hits the barrier. DRS is disabled there. We just had the confirmation from race control. He's spinning out again. Oh. He's having a disaster trying to get that Alpine back on track again. It does look like he has retired the car. I'm not sure if it's just a contact that caused that, but that was quite an unfortunate spin for Tom Tarka, and he will not progress through to Q3. Luxty in the pits at the moment. Thunderbuddy on an outlap on the intermediate tyres. At the moment he is on a 120.1, very decent time. Indeed, good enough for P4 at the moment, and at the moment he will progress through to Q3. He is coming through sector 3 now, just a few more corners until he gets to the starting line, where he can start a flying lap on the intermediate tyres. And let's see what sort of time he can do on the intermediate tyres. Is it going to be good enough in comparison to his previous time or not? It does look like he is getting us going again. See what he can do. And it's invalidated track limits. Really unfortunate there. A-Serp also caught out by track limits. Hans has not been caught out by track limits just yet. He is making his way through sector 2. Let's see what he can do. Into sector 3, the Williams goes. Did have a bit of traffic there. Navigates around it. Still carrying quite a bit of speed round that corner there. But you can see 7.9 seconds up on his previous time. That's quite a gap. Drivers at risk as it stands. We've got Luxty, who is on another flying lap attempt, this time on the intermediate tires instead of the slicks. He does have Acerp for company ahead of him, who looks to also be on a flying lap, so hope that this doesn't hinder him in any way. Or actually, Acerp does get out of the way there and allows the Alfa Romeo past. Into sector 2 he goes. Luxty currently the only driver who is still in the running that has not set a time on the board yet. Really quite aggressive with the steering wheel there, but keeping that car nicely under control. Little bit of a twitch on the back there. Nothing he can't handle. Really is quite a bit off the pace here, and that is purely just because he wasn't able to set a time whenever it was dry conditions. It's a 1:27.2 for Luxty. At the moment it's just good enough for P2 or sorry, P12, and in this case he looks to be eliminated from Q2 and not progressing through to Q3. There is still time. Maybe he can find some more time, but how it looks at the moment is we will not see the Alfa Romeo of Luxty progressing through to Q3, as well as driver SA, who is on an outlap at the minute on the intermediate tyres. At the moment it's going to be quite a struggle for him to put a competitive time on the board there. Yeah. The XT Viper 122.6 at the moment in P10 at the moment will progress through to Q3, but you know, still very much at risk from those drivers who are looking to set more competitive times than that. Thunderbody has retired. It does look like he's retired in the pits. He's obviously happy with the time that he's set. The XT Viper heading back into the pits. Unsure what Luxty's doing here. He has stopped on track and appears to be doing donuts. Not really sure that Michael Massey would approve of this one, but he's doing it anyway. Really not sure what he is doing here. He's just was having a bit of fun there, I guess. Just a wee moment to himself before he gets foot on the gas again. He's actually heading into the pits. And that appears to be it for Q2. Drivers eliminated from Q2. We have Slowest Kingers and Tom Tucker, who did not set a time on the board. Driver SA and Luxty and AMG Smithy. We won't see those drivers in Q3. That is it for our coverage of Q2, and stick with us as we make our way into the top 10 shootout, and let's see what driver is on pole this week. We are back qualifying here in Q3. As you can see, we still have the rain with us, so this is going to make for an interesting end to our qualifying session, as drivers will need to begin the qualifying on the intermediate tyres. Do have a few drivers who are making their way out on track. Dirty Chewbacca appearing to be the first one. A smart move again for the drivers to get out on track as quickly as possible before the track conditions worsen, and actually it is required then for the drivers to stick on the wet tyres rather than the intermediates, which is going to make their lap times a bit slower. Dirty Chewbacca going to be the first driver to set a lap time in this session, and is going to be the benchmark for other drivers in terms of provisional pole and where they're going to be aiming towards. As you can see, a lot of our drivers are making their way out on track as it stands. A reminder of the drivers that we have with us in this session: we have the Williams of Mecha84, we also have his teammate Hans, so we have both Williams, we have both Mercedes as well, DXT Viper and Either Best Don't Mess. We have Thunderbuddy in the Ferrari, who is making his debut for RIZE Racing League. So it's really great to see him into Q3 on his first race with us. AMG Speeds and R8 Storms, both McLarens into Q3. An excellent performance so far from both of those drivers, who are absolutely wanting to keep the momentum up, trying to score as many points as they can to really consolidate their place in the drivers, or in the driver and the constructors championship. We also have iZombie in the Alpine and Acerp in the Haas, as Dirty Chewbacca starts the first flying lap of the session. Let's go on board with the Red Bull and see what he can do in these tricky conditions. Does look like the rain has stopped, but you can see it is still quite greasy out there, as he just misses the apex a little bit on that corner. Up the hill and onto the DRS straight. The drivers won't get DRS in this session. You can see there is a hint of a dry line that is starting to appear on track there. It's not 100% just yet, but you can see it's starting to form, so that's really a good reference for our drivers to try and follow that line. It's probably going to give them the most sort of speed, grip and traction that they can probably get in these conditions where the track is quite greasy. So far so good for Dirty Chewbacca. Set really two quite good sectors. Let's see what he can do here. Making his way around the final corner. So 128.3, that's what the other drivers are going to be aiming for. AMG Speeds has invalidated this lap. He's going to need to go again. Either Best Don't Mess. Looks like he's going to be the next driver to get a time on the board. Is it going to be better than Dirty Chewbacca's? It is not. It's a 129.5. iZombie next across the line. It's a 127.4, and iZombie is on provisional pole as it stands. Very, very nice time indeed from the Alpine driver. Thunderbuddy is coming around the final corner here. He has invalidated his lap. He'll need to go again if he wants to get a good time on the board. R8 Storms, next driver to cross the line. It's a 128.3 for the McLaren driver. That is currently P3 as it stands. Hans, a 127.5. That is good enough for P2. Front row for the Williams driver, as DXT Viper comes across with a 153.6. That's quite a bit off the pace of the other drivers. DXT Viper will absolutely need to go again if he wants to remain competitive in this session. Mecha84 is going to be the next driver to cross the line. 7 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of opportunity for these guys to get out again. The rain has stopped. So there could be a potential here that the track may dry up before the end of the session, and the drivers could make a switch onto the slicks. We don't know. We'll have to see what that brings at the end of the session. As Mecha crosses the line with the 130.4, good enough for 6th place at the moment. who else needs to set a time. Thunderbuddy is having another go. He has set a fastest Sector 2 time. Really nice effort from the Ferrari driver who is making his way through Sector 3. Is it going to be enough for provisional pole? It does look like the conditions are a lot better than when iZombie set his provisional pole time. So let's see if it is going to be better or not. As he crosses the line, it's a 1:26.5, almost a full second faster than the Alpine of iZombie. Only 2 drivers left to set times. It is AMG Speeds and Acerp. AMG Speeds is making his way through Sector 2 at the moment. And let's see if he is able to challenge Thunderbuddy for that provisional pole. And he manages to set a purple Sector 2. Can he keep this momentum up through Sector 3? Let's find out. The conditions definitely are getting a lot better. You can see there's been no rain in quite some time. There is 5 minutes left on the clock. I don't know if we will see drivers coming out on the slicks or not. I wonder if we can actually see. Acerp does have the soft tires fitted. As AMG Speeds crosses with a 1:27.3. Good enough for P2 at the moment. Just knocks iZombie down a little bit there. But Thunderbuddy keeps provisional pole for now. Acerp, the only driver yet to set a lap time. He is actually heading out on those slick tires. We will find out if this is the right decision or not in a moment or two, as he is crossing the final corner to start his flying lap of the session on the slick tires. The first driver to get those slicks on. And let's see, is he going to make a competitive time or not? Just over 4 minutes left on the clock. Down the pit straight he goes into turn 1. Misses that apex. Goes quite a bit wide there and just has a spin into the gravel. I'm not sure if the track is ready for those soft tires or not. I think Acerp maybe was a bit premature on that, or he maybe just went a bit too quick on the power gain. So as it stands, Thunderbuddy, oh no, Dirty Chewbacca has retired out on track there. Really unfortunate from the Red Bull driver. Had a lot of potential in this session, but he is the first retiree. Yeah, so I'm not sure if Acerp was a bit too premature on the tire choice, or just if he wasn't managing the throttle quite good enough and was just too quick to get on the throttle again. It does look like he may have another go here with the soft tires, but there is just 3 minutes left on the clock, so this is really quite a crucial decision for him. We do have 2 other drivers who are in the pits with the soft tires on. As Acerp comes in to the pits, is he coming into the pits to fit the intermediate tires to get a time on the board, or what is he doing? Because really we are running out of time here. As he comes into the pits, DRS is now enabled, and we do have drivers making their way out on track. It looks like Thunderbuddy is out on track, but Thunderbuddy is out on track on the intermediate tires. We do have drivers who are sitting in the pits with the soft tires prepped and ready to go. If race control have enabled DRS, that would potentially suggest that the track is starting to get dry enough for the slick tires. Oh, and he just loses traction there. Thunderbuddy has confirmed that he was meant to have the slick tires set on. It looks like Ferrari have failed him. Matteo Binotto, what are you doing, man? You're destroying your driver's chances of keeping pole position here. rarely have enough time to go into the pits and get a pair of slicks on and come back out to set a lap time. He is cutting it fine. There's there's just over a minute left on the clock. I don't think there's going to be enough time. We do have a couple of drivers on out laps. AMG Speeds in the McLaren on the soft tyres, and R8 Storms on the soft tyres as well. We do have a couple of drivers with the soft tyres on, waiting to come out. It looks like ASERP is coming back out again on the soft tyres. This is really going to be quite an intense end to our qualifying session, because it is really a matter of timing and just getting that timing right. And I think ASERP was a bit premature on the move, but really now the time is right to get out there. We do have a number of drivers who are sitting in the pits who will not be going back out again. It looks like iZombie and Hans both are in the pits and not going back out again. DXT Viper also in the pits and not going out again. Really interesting. I would like to understand what the decision is behind that, as AMG Speeds is crossing the final corner to start his flying lap on the soft tyres. Can he fight for a provisional pole, as it looks like Thunderbuddy will have missed out on his chance in improving his lap time. Oh, the back end just kicking out there, but AMG Speeds does a fantastic job of keeping that McLaren on track. He's got DRS. He's got a fastest sector one time. He is on track for provisional pole as it stands. R8 Storms, his teammate, takes the fastest sector one time off him. And that's the fastest sector 2 time for AMG Speeds. McLaren is set for pole position as it stands. Let's hope he can keep this momentum through sector 3. He's got one more long right-hander to go before he's on the pit straight. He will have DRS just before the finish line, so really it's not going to have much of an impact on his track time, but it's a 1:22.8. You can see he's shaved a hell of a lot of time off his previous lap time there, and it is provisional pole, and R8 Storms comes in, steals it off him. It is a McLaren 1-2 as it stands. ASERP good enough for P3, and that is the end of our quali. McLaren couldn't have had a better qualifying session. R8 Storms on pole in Portimao, and his teammate AMG Speeds alongside him in the front row. ASERP in P3. Only 3 drivers had the time to get the soft tyres on. The others set their times in intermediate tyres. What an exciting end to the qualifying session. We'll be back shortly for our race coverage. and we are off on our formation lap. R8 Storms leads us away with AMG Speeds in P2. We have a McLaren front row. Acerp is in P3 with Thunderbuddy in the Ferrari in P4. Really interesting in terms of tyre strategy. You can see that the track does appear to be dry. There is no rain at the moment. Whether we get rain or not as we progress through the race, we'll find out. But our top three are on the medium tyres, whereas Thunderbuddy, iZombie and Hans in the Williams are both on the soft tyres. So it's going to be making for a really interesting fight in terms of the different strategies that we have on show. You can see from Hans down, we do have drivers who are opting for medium tyres and drivers who are opting for soft tyres as well. So again, quite a mix in strategies there. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But as it stands, you can see R8 Storms leading the pack away there. He's weaving from side to side, trying to get plenty of heat into those tyres, ready for the race start. Really just wanting to get those tyres into the optimum temperature so we can get the best start possible. Be interesting to see how this goes between the two McLaren drivers, because there is a little bit of a long straight at the start of the race into turn one. So will these drivers be fighting each other, or will they play the team game, and will AMG Speeds allow R8 Storms that opportunity to push ahead while he defends Acerp from a potential overtake. Be interesting to see how this plays out. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy. And one stop is medium to hard, two stop starting on the medium onto the softs, and then finishing the race on the softs as Boscombe Boy comes up to the back of the grid. We have a full grid, 20 drivers ready to give it their all. Let's see what we can do as we are waiting for 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Slowest Kingers does have a drive-through penalty already. R8 Storms gets away as Thunderbuddy comes up and overtakes into second place. We do have yellow flags, so we do have drivers off. Not sure what has happened there. Mekki has dropped right down quite a bit, and we do have a virtual safety car. And you can see from the leaderboard there, we have a full deployed safety car already. It looks like absolute carnage. Not sure what has happened. We do still have all 20 drivers as it stands, so there has obviously been some sort of contact there. There's been some sort of contact. There's been debris on track, which has obviously resulted in the safety car coming out. Because it is so quickly into the race start, I anticipate that we won't see any drivers coming into the pits just yet. In terms of those drivers who have gained in the initial opening of the race, and those who have lost, the winners and the losers, R8 Storms keeps his P1, which is really positive. Thunderbuddy has gained 2 places up into P2 from P4, which is really positive. Acerp keeps P3, and AMG Speeds have dropped down 2 places into 4th, which is really, really unfortunate for the McLaren driver. We do also have Kaz420 and Tom Tarka, who have both made up 7 places. We've got DXT Viper going into the pits. We have a number of drivers going into the pits. I assume we've got some contact. That we do have the Mercedes pit crew who have got a front wing replacement there for DXT Viper. We've got about half the grid coming in for it looks like new front wings and stuff like that. That is really, really disappointing. Not sure exactly what happened in the race start there for those drivers. We do have a couple of drivers who have penalties. We did see that Slowest Kinger's got a drive-through penalty for a jump start. We also have a few 5-second penalties. I think that's probably due to contact with other drivers. And driver SA has got 10-second penalty, which is not what he needs in his race. His debut race for RIZE, 10-second penalty and down in 20th. We are only in lap 2 out of 33. There is plenty of opportunity for driver SA to crawl this back and get himself back into the race, but it's going to take a bit of work. Sorry, it Storms keeps behind the safety car. He's got Thunderbuddy for company now. And the challenge is he doesn't have the support of his teammate there, so he is all by himself in this one. Looks like we'll have the safety car with us for another lap. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy there. It is for the soft tire starts. I do think that will have changed for some of our drivers who have had the pit early. While we're waiting on the safety car coming in, we can check the tire choices. So you can see we do have a couple of drivers who have now jumped onto the hard tire, and those are the drivers who have pitted. We have Cas 420 and Hunter who are also on the soft tire. Not the start that these drivers will have wanted, but I mean the main thing is that we still have all 20 drivers still in the running. Looks like Hunter has jumped into the pits there, so Hunter has dropped down to P20. You can see from the map on the right hand side there, he is quite a bit off the safety car train. Safety car does still have a number of corners to get through. He is only going through sector 2 right now, so Hunter should be able to catch up in time prior to the safety car going in. We haven't had confirmation that the safety car will be going in at the end of this lap, but I would imagine that the stewards will have cleared any debris on track, and hopefully we will be able to get this race started again. Still no confirmation from race control, so it looks like we will be stuck with this safety car for one more lap. Oh no, here we go, race control, safety car in this lap. That is the confirmation that we need. You can see that R8 Storms is weaving from side to side, trying to get some heat into those tyres. He is not bunching up the pack as much as other drivers would. He does have Thunderbuddy right behind him, keeping him company. As he gets away, he gets a nice go away there. Thunderbuddy is under pressure from Acerp, who's under pressure from AMG Speeds. AMG Speeds leads. Oh, there's contact. AMG Speeds spins out. He tried to get a move there, and Thunderbuddy, there was contact. AMG Speeds is dropping right down the pecking order there. I'm not sure what happened at the start, and we also have a retirement in DXT Viper. Not sure what happened with DXT Viper there. Thunderbuddy is up 2 places into P2. Acerp keeps P3. There's just been a lot of drama at this initial start of the race. iZombie in the Alpine was putting Acerp under pressure, had a bit of a moment. You can see that has allowed Acerp to move up again. Thunderbuddy set a fastest purple sector there. 0.2 seconds off R8 Storms. R8 Storms is looking very vulnerable right now in that McLaren. He's got medium tires and Thunderbuddy's got soft tires. As we go on the pit straight, this is an intense battle between these two drivers. He had a look, but he's not going just yet. Ferrari of Thunderbuddy just 0.3 seconds off R8 Storms. He's using his ERS power. He's got a bit of a slipstream on that McLaren. He pulls out to have a look for the overtake, and he says not yet, not yet. This is the closest battle that we have on track. Acerp 1.8 seconds off Thunderbuddy, and iZombie now backing off a little bit from the Haas driver, 2.5 seconds off. DRS, I don't believe has been it hasn't been activated yet. It may be activated at the end of this this lap. SYM has DNF'd, and we've got another safety car. Safety car out again as SYM DNFs, and a safety car comes out just ahead of R8 Storms, and he picks up the safety car there quite nicely. We've got 2 retirees so far in this session. SYM in the Haas and DXT Viper in the Mercedes. That leaves us with 18 drivers still going. We do have a number of drivers who are hopping into the pits. Those drivers who started on the soft tires, I imagine, are going on to the medium tires. It would be a good opportunity for Acerp or Thunderbuddy. Thunderbuddy to potentially hop into the pits, because he is against drivers who have got medium tires on. If he could hop into the pits and get a nice set of fresh tires on, that could give him an advantage over some of the other drivers that he is up against. Dirty Chewbacca is up 6 places. Not a bad start for him at all. Luke Stee also up 4 places. We also have Ross Wales up 4 places, and he's right behind his teammate G Smithy. And Driver SA, after having a bit of a poor start, is up 3 places now into P10. Again, we are still only 6 laps into this race. We have plenty of opportunity for more overtaking, more racing, but we just need to get this safety car period over with. We do have a couple of other drivers who are heading into the pits there. We've got iZombie and Hans both heading into the pits. iZombie on the soft tires, again Hans on the soft tires as well, which is why I'm quite shocked that Thunderbuddy hasn't decided to come in to the pits, as iZombie gets a change of tyre for the medium tyres, and Hans is opting for the medium tyres as well. Pack is bunching up quite nicely. We do have 3 drivers who are just catching up to the grid there. That is iZombie, Hans, and I the Best Don't Mess. Boscombe Boy is quite a bit off the pace there. I think he did have a pit stop earlier, so he is going to have to spend a bit of time trying to catch up to the safety car as Hans comes up to the back of the safety car queue. We also have I the Best of Mess, who is just coming up to the back there now. You can see the queue of drivers. Safety car remains with us for one more lap. Boscombe Boy has done a good job of starting to catch up to the field there. You can see he has caught up to the back of either Best Don't Mess. Tom Tarka gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Back on board with R8 Storms. He's weaving side to side again, trying to get as much heat into those tyres as possible. I dare say that at this stage in the race he's going to have a bit of an advantage over Thunderbuddy, who's still on those soft tyres, whereas R8 Storms and Acerb are both on medium tyres, which are going to be in probably better condition than what Thunderbuddy's soft tyres are at this stage. We're still yet to hear from Race Control. We just heard from them here. Safety car is in this lap. R8 Storms will control the pace off the grid, and the drivers behind him. As the safety car comes in, you can see R8 Storms has slowed the drivers down there. Dirty Chewbacca does get a 5-second penalty with Acer for a collision under safety car conditions. R8 Storms is slowing the pack down quite nicely. They're all bunched up and they're eager to get going again, but only do they get going when R8 Storms tells them. Acer behind Thunderbuddy. He's not close enough to get a move done. Looks to get a move done on Dirty Chewbacca. And Thunderbuddy and Acerb are battling here. This is a really nice battle between these two drivers. Acerb now on the outside. Thunderbuddy has the inside line. Acerb looking to go the long way round, but Thunderbuddy pushes him off track. And Acerb keeps his space in P3. Thunderbuddy does have his sights on R8 Storms. He is just 0.6 seconds off him. He wants that race win, but he is disadvantaged on those old soft tyres now. Driver SA is dropping down the grid. Looks like he's had a spin. Really unfortunate as he heads back on the track again. Thunderbuddy and driver SA does DNF. And we're down to 17 drivers. Acerb's caught up again to Thunderbuddy. Will get DRS on this stage, I believe, or maybe not. DRS still hasn't been activated. Drivers are still bunching out quite a bit. Thunderbuddy still putting R8 Storms under immense pressure, but R8 Storms, that McLaren, is doing a great job to withstand the pressure. At the moment he is second in the Drivers' Championship. This win could be crucial and could do well for him in terms of making his way up into first and helping McLaren along the way in terms of their fight in the Constructors' Championships. Thunderbuddy 0.4 seconds off R8 Storms. He's got a nice slipstream as DRS is enabled as he sets the fastest lap time of the session so far. He is 0.3 seconds off the McLaren. He will get DRS here shortly. Is he going to be close enough to get a move done? That is the question. He does have DRS. DRS is open. He's not close enough to get a move done just yet. Has 420 now coming up to the back of Dirty Chewbacca. Dirty Chewbacca does lose traction in spin side. And that brings Cas 420 up into P6. As Dirty Chewbacca drops down the pecking order into P10, P11, P13, 14. Really, really unfortunate for Dirty Chewbacca there. MG speeds 0.4 seconds off Acerp. He is having a battle here with Luxty. Luxty has made 8 places up into P3. What an amazing drive from the Alfa Romeo driver so far, as AMG Speeds is right on the back of Acerp, who is heading into the pits. I thought he was heading into the pits. He is not. AMG Speeds does have DRS, and he glides past the Haas there really nicely and up into P4. This is turning out to be a good recovery drive for AMG Speeds, who is now up in the back of Luxty, who is up 8 places. The McLaren driver will get DRS again. It's close enough to get a move. He is gaining, but he is not close enough just yet. He does have a look on the outside, but he is not getting that move done as Acerp gets spun out. Not sure exactly what happened there. Cas 420 up 14 places. Really, really great drive from the AlphaTauri driver, who is currently P1 in the Drivers' Championship. AMG Speeds 0.4 seconds to the back of Luxty in the Alfa Romeo. Thunderbuddy 0.4 seconds off R8 Storms. Surely he is feeling the pressure with those tyres now. He does get DRS. It should be R8 Storms who's feeling the pressure, as these drivers are now side by side as they head towards turn 1. The Ferrari is in the lead. Oh, what has happened? Contact between both drivers. R8 Storms continues on, but Thunderbuddy did have contact between the two drivers. And Acerp has retired. And we do have a virtual safety car out again. It's hard to see from the camera angle what exactly happened there. It was really close racing from those two drivers into turn 1. It did look like Thunderbuddy had the line into turn 1 and had the overtake completed. And then R8 Storms came back there. I don't know if the move was on or not. But as it stands, R8 Storms is up into P1 again. AMG Speeds, after a bit of a poor start, has made his way back up into P2. And Luxty up 8 places, a fantastic start for the Alfa Romeo driver. Virtual safety car is still out at the moment. Luxty putting immense pressure under AMG Speeds. He goes wide off the track there. He is right on the engine of that McLaren. And he does get the move on the McLaren into P2. This is intense racing between these two drivers. AMG Speeds will surely get DRS and bring the fight back to him. He's got DRS, but he does look to be a bit too far away at this stage. Cas 420 has caught up quite a bit there and looks to join in on the fight with these two drivers. And as a result of the battle between Luxty and AMG Speeds, R8 Storms has caught, begin to pull away there. 3 second gap between him and P2. So actually his teammate is doing him quite a favour here with this battle that he is having with Luxty. Meki 84, 0.7 seconds off AMG Speeds. AMG Speeds goes wide. Meki gets DRS. Gets the overtake done as AMG Smithy looks to be fighting back but goes a bit wide in that corner. AMG Speeds does get a penalty there. I realise I am calling AMG Smithy and AMG Speeds by the same name. I do apologise about that. AMG Speeds gets to move back on Luxty. Back up into P2 it is McLaren. P1 and P2 as it stands, and Luxty up 8 places, but he is under pressure from Kaz 420 and he is bringing the fight back to AMG Speeds. He gets DRS. AMG Speeds is vulnerable, but the Alfa Romeo does look to be too far away to get a move done at this stage. Tom Tarka gets up on Boscombe Boy. It looks like Boscombe Boy has just DNF there. And Tom Tarka is up 5 places into 13th place. The fight between these drivers for P3 final podium spot or P2 is still ongoing as we make our way round the final corner. AMG Speeds has got a decent little gap between him and Luxty, but Luxty will have DRS as will Kaz 420. AMG Speeds won't have DRS. Kaz 420 gets a better exit out of that corner. He looks to be going the long way round. Or is he trying to switcheroo here? He does look like he's trying to switcheroo. He's got better traction out of that corner and he moves up into P3 as Luxty drops down into P4. That was an excellent move from Kaz 420 in that corner. Just got better traction, was able to get on the gas and get a bit more speed than Luxty at that stage, and that is Kaz 420 into the final podium position so far. Up 16 places. What a fantastic race from Kaz 420 so far, as Luxty equally having a very good race, up 7 places. Do have a yellow flag there. It is a Red Bull. It looks like Dirty Chewbacca is slowing down. Not sure exactly what has happened there. And Hunter also stopped on track. Don't know what has happened. Luxty does get DRS on Kaz. Is a bit far back to get a move done. He will get DRS again. I don't know if he'll be close enough to get a move done again. The advantage that Kaz 420 has here is he is on the hard tires. He's on the fresher tires that are lasting longer, whereas Luxty is on medium tires that won't last as long in comparison to those hards. Slowest Kinger's also having a decent race here. He is up 6 places from where he started, up into P8. He is chasing down the Williams of Hans. Just 1.3 seconds separate the two drivers. As Luxty continues to put pressure on Kaz 420, we do have yellow flags out again for Mercedes, or actually it does look to be, it looks to be Hunter. Hunter is off track, not sure exactly what is going on with the Alfa Romeo. He's making his way back on track again while his teammate is fighting for that final podium place. McLaren so far, R8 Storm's been really clinical so far has had to hold his ground and is doing a great job. AMG Speeds had a bit of a disappointing start, but has managed to claw back into that second place and is now able to support his teammate in terms of trying to deliver the best result for the Constructors and also Drivers' Championship. So really good from both those drivers, as Hunter DNFs now as well along the pit straight. Hunter has retired, and we are down to just 14 drivers left. Ross Wales gets DRS on the Williams of Mecke. He's looking to make a move, and he gets the move done. He goes a bit wide there, but he keeps the position. He's up into P10. Mecke drops down to P11. And it does appear that Luxty is out of DRS range, which is great news for CAS 420, who can now breathe a little bit after that sustained pressure that he was under from Luxty. Sloris Kinger's coming round the pit straight as iZombie is in the pits. It looks like he will set the fastest lap of the session so far. That was great from Sloris Kingers, who moves up into P6, having overtook iZombie in the pits. And you can see from the timings, it does look like our drivers have all spread out a little bit there. The closest battle now between Luxty and CAS 420, there is 1.4 seconds separating the drivers. There is quite a sizable gap between the other drivers now, which means there's not a huge amount to report on at this stage. Does look like CAS 420 is starting to close the gap between himself and R8 Storms and AMG Speeds. I'm just going to have a look at the tyre situation. It does look like CAS 420 is on hard tyres that are 13 laps old. AMG Speeds on medium tyres that are 13 laps old. So his tyres will start to, tire out a bit now. The wear is going to become quite increased on those tyres, whereas CAS 420 does have a bit more life in his tyres. Equally, R8 Storms, 19 lap old tyres. He's been on those tyres from the start and is yet to pit, so really going to be under some pressure here from CAS 420, who is arguably on the better tyre now. Just 1.4 seconds between those drivers. And R8 Storms is the only driver who has not pitted in this race yet. A lot of the drivers have time penalties. The only drivers with no time penalties is Thunder Buddy and R8 Storms. R8 Storms doing a fantastic job to not sustain any penalties at this stage. In terms of penalties, CAS 420 has 6 seconds worth of penalties, as does iZombie, Dirty Chewbacca and AMG Smithy, 14 and 16 seconds worth of penalties respectively. So it is not looking good for those drivers. CAS 420 still 1.8 seconds off. AMG Speeds is starting to close the gap to his teammate as well. Sloris Kingers up 9 places into 5th. Very, very nice race from him so far. as well as Luxty, who's up in the 7th. Was fighting for that final podium position at one stage, but he has dropped off quite a bit. He is 3.5 seconds off as AMG Speeds heads into the pits for new tyres, as CAS 420 pushes now on R8 Storms. He is 3.3 seconds off, but R8 Storms is on tyres which are quite a bit older now. Luxty heading into the pits as well. He's looking to keep in the fight with AMG Speeds. Speeds coming out of the pits and Luxty following. Slowest Kingers does get the move on Luxty, and Luxty drops into 5th place. .2 seconds separates Luxty and Slowest Kingers now, as CAS 420 does have a 3-second gap between himself and R8 Storms. He has a good opportunity to start trying to close that gap now, because R8 Storms will need to pit shortly, as he has not pitted this whole race yet. The only driver not to pit at this stage. CAS 420 now dropping the gap down to 2.6 seconds as R8 Storms eventually comes into the pits, and that allows CAS 420 up into P1 with 10 laps left on the clock. Will CAS 420 want to keep racing on those hard tyres? It will be quite a challenge to keep on the hard tyres to the end of the race. Not impossible, but he will need quite a bit of skill to keep the life in those tyres and keep that car on track, as the R8 Storms comes out on track again, and he slots in just behind his teammate. Does look like there was almost an incident between the two drivers there, but it is AMG Speeds who gets to move on R8 Storms. Bear in mind that AMG Speeds was in behind R8 Storms before he pitted, so it just shows that the undercut is powerful in this lap, as Slowest Kingers is now catching up behind Luxty. 0.5 seconds separate those two, as Thunder Buddy is closing up on Hans. He is right on the back of the Williams. He's going side by side with the Williams. Has to go under the grass a little bit to avoid contact. Ferrari can't get a move done just yet, but he is absolutely eyeing it up as the Williams goes a little wide there. Slowest Kingers, 0.9 seconds between him and Luxty. He will get DRS, but he is a bit too far away to get a move done at the stage. He actually is going into the pits for a set of new tyres. Thunder Buddy, 0.2 seconds between him and the Williams. So Hans goes into the pits as well, and that brings Thunder Buddy up into 6th place, up into 5th place as he overtakes Slowest Kingers in the pit stop as well. He is down 1 place from where he started the race, but this is not a bad recovery for Thunder Buddy, who is hoping to make back that place that he lost on Luxty. There is quite a gap between the two drivers, but it is not impossible. R8 Storms now close the gap between him and his teammate to 1 second. Not sure what the stance is between these two drivers. Is it a let them race scenario, or are team orders coming into play here? Not sure, but all I can say is that CAS 420 is in a very comfortable position at the minute, 19 seconds. If he does pit, he will come in behind AMG Speeds and give up that podium or that race win. But whether he is planning to come in or not, I'm not too sure. He may want to try and make this strategy last and try and stick on those hard tyres, which will be quite a challenge, but will be really good if he can pull it off. Drivers again have all bunched out. R8 Storms is closest on track. It looks like Thunder Buddy is heading into the pits. Looks like he'll be going on to the soft tyres. Let's see where he comes out. Does look like the Mercedes of the best don't mess will get ahead of him as well, and the Williams of Hans, who he was in a fight with before this, is a bit back, and Thunderbuddy does get out ahead of the Williams of Hans, who is chasing him down. Ross Wheels also trying to make a move on Meke, who is going wide, and Aston Martin does move back up into 10th place. Ross Wheels up 5 places from where he started the race. Not bad at all from Ross Wheels, as Meke jumps into the pits there last minute. Kaz 420 doing a good job to keep the gap between him and R8 Storms quite big. 18.8 seconds was 19 seconds. Still doing a good job to keep that gap with really not that much left in terms of laps in this race. Slowest Kingers up 8 places from where he started the race. He's got iZombie in his sights. 1.4 seconds separates those two drivers. The Slowest Kingers comes across with the fastest lap time off the session. He is looking to gain ground in this race still, and he wants to get a move done on iZombie and wants to get up into 5th place. R8 Storms is starting to close that gap down quite quickly. I'm not sure if Kaz 420 had a bit of a moment, or if those fresh tyres seem to be really working for R8 Storms, but the gap is down to 15 seconds. Is he closing the gap quick enough that he can actually make a move or not? I'm not sure. Slowest Kingers does get the move on iZombie, and that does bring him up into 5th place. iZombie still in the fight though, but now he does have a back marker in between him. Meke does move out of the way there to allow the Alpine through. Thunderbuddy is chasing now the best don't mess. It's Ferrari versus Mercedes. Not 0.7 seconds now. And the gap between Kaz 420 and R8 Storms is now down to 14.7 seconds. As Thunderbuddy gets DRS, he also sets the fastest Sector 3 time on those soft tyres. He had a little look there in terms of getting a move done, but not yet. He will get DRS again in a second, just 2 corners time. Will he get the move done then? Let's find out as we go on board with the Ferrari. He's got DRS. He pulls out beside the Mercedes. He gets the inside line. He pushes the Mercedes wide off track and gets the move done. That is Thunderbuddy up into 7th place. The best don't mess is now just behind, 0.7 seconds. R8 Storms is starting to close that gap. It is now down to 13.8 seconds between him and Kaz. Although we are running out of laps in this race, I don't know that he is closing the gap fast enough to get back the race win. AMG Speeds is 0.4 seconds behind Luxty. Luxty's had a fantastic race. He is up 8 places from where he started. Slowest Kingers also having a fantastic race, up 9 places from where he started the race. There is quite a sizable gap between him and AMG Speeds, so I dare say that this is probably going to be as good as it gets for Slowest Kingers, but he can be proud of the fact he's made up 9 places in this race. He just now needs to keep that race position until the end of the race. He's got 5 laps left. MG Speeds is closing the gap here very quick. 0.7 seconds now separates him and Luxty. Luxty desperately wants his final podium place, but MG Speeds is determined to get it back. Let's see what he can do. MG Speeds will get DRS. R8 Storms is closing the gap on Kaz 420 as well. It's now down to 12 seconds. as the McLaren of AMG Speeds gets DRS. It is open. You can see he is gaining on the Alfa Romeo. He pulls out beside it. He gets the overtake done. And he leads into turn 1, but actually Luxty is fighting back. And Luxty somehow manages to fight back and get that position again. Will he get DRS? No, he does not. AMG Speeds gets DRS. This is a battle for the ages here between AMG Speeds and Luxty. Really, really exciting between those two drivers. AMG Speeds now has the inside line. Now has the advantage over Luxty. And he is back up into 3rd place. Luxty having a bit of a moment there. The car is twitching a bit and you can see he has dropped off a little bit. He is still only 0.6 seconds between him and the McLaren. Fight is still on. AMG Speeds cannot breathe just yet. There is just 33 laps left. Or sorry, there's just 3 laps left in this race. Thunder Buddy's also close the gap there between him and iZombie. Luxty does have DRS, but he is not close enough to AMG Speeds to get a move. He's going to get DRS again, but again it just looks like he's a bit too far away to actually get something done. Thunder Buddy coming around the corner here. He's going to have DRS on the Alpine of iZombie. iZombie does move right over there to try and break the toe, but it is not good enough. And the Ferrari pulls out. And he is ahead of the Alpine. And that is Thunder Buddy up into P6. He is just behind his teammate Slowest Kingers, who is in P5. It is a 5 and 6 for Ferrari as Luxty and the Alfa Romeo is up. It does look like Ariat Storms. What has happened? Luxty hits into the back of Ariat Storms, who's going really slow. And there is a safety car out as Ariat Storms has had contact with Luxty. Luxty has shed his front wing. You can see he is racing there with no front wing. And a safety car has come out to retrieve the debris. Or for the stewards to retrieve the debris. Not sure why Ariat Storms is going so slow there. Luxty wasn't expecting it, and he is going to have to head into the pits there. You can see he's going into the pits. It is absolute heartbreak for Luxty, who was fighting for that final podium place. And now, as a result of having the pit, he will not be able to fight for that final podium place. But actually, it's really difficult for Kaz420 as well, who is caught up to the back of the safety car. He had a 20-second gap between him and the next McLaren. He was able to hold that off because he didn't pit. The problem is that he has now is he's got 2 McLarens who are both on a hell of a lot fresher tyres than he is on. If he keeps on the tyres that he is on at the moment, he is going to be under immense pressure to keep those 2 McLarens behind him. So he needs to make the decision now in terms of whether he pits or not. Safety car is in this lap. It's been a really quick safety car period. Kaz420 is the only person behind the safety car, so if he can do this really quickly, let the safety car go on, and he needs to blast on. It has closed the gap quite significantly, but he could still be in for winning this race, as he just has 2 more laps left. As the safety car makes its way around the final corner, safety car is coming in. He is bunching Kaz420 into AMG Speeds. AMG Speeds is on the fresher, soft tyres in comparison to Kaz420, who's on the hard tyres. Ariat Storms and AMG Speeds are neck and neck. Kaz420 is under immense pressure from these 2 McLarens right now. AMG Speeds is tight to the apex. What a dramatic end to this race this is going to be. I'm sure that Kaz420 is feeling the pressure right now. 0.5 seconds between CAS 420 and AMG Speeds. That safety car could not have come at a worse time for CAS 420. He had a 20-second gap between him and the next McLaren. It was dropped down to 12 seconds or something, but he still could have won the race. AMG Speeds is putting serious pressure under CAS 420. If CAS 420 is able to fend him off and keep position in this final lap, this will be seriously impressive. It will be a seriously impressive race for CAS 420 as Meke 84, the Williams driver, DNFs on the final lap. The advantage that CAS 420 has is that DRS has not been enabled to gain, but AMG Speeds is still gaining quite rapidly. He is 0.2 seconds off CAS 420. He's going to get a nice slipstream down the straight here. But he is still not close enough to get the move done. CAS 420 really, he's just got a couple of corners now. He has to hold it off the McLaren for. It's not going to be an easy challenge, but one no doubt I'm sure he can do. No, 0.4 seconds. There's just 4 corners left for CAS 420. This is like a photo finish right here. CAS 420 going around the final corner. You can see AMG Speeds is catching up, but he is not close enough to make it stick. And CAS 420 crosses the line first. AMG Speeds, Ariat Storms does get the win because of penalties. It's CAS 420 in second. Snorris Kinger's up in the third. AMG Speeds in the fourth. Thunderbuddy is next across the line. He is P5. Luke Stee is coming not long after in P6. iZombie crosses the line in P7. I the best don't mess gets promoted up into P7 due to penalties. Hans 9th. Ross Wales 10th. 30 Chewbacca 11th. Tom Tarka 12th and AMG Smithy 13th. It was really a tight race there for those drivers. Ariat Storms did a fantastic job to absolutely get that race win. He may not have actually crossed the line first, but penalties did come into play, and Ariat Storms crosses the line in P1.